Everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're just waiting for the Brokoli team to come in here before we begin.
Haroldas, which is joining us soon, and is a founder of Brokoli Network, will get you closer to the concept. And later on, we'll introduce you to the actual incubation and what will it actually include, what kind of activities we'll do together, what kind of integrations, what kind of games, what kind of gamification, learn to earn stuff. So really glad to have him with us today. And I'm glad to see similar faces as always. Hello to everybody. Hi, Haroldas. I see you're inside. We maybe just need to ask you to join our stand.
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Good to be here.
Will it just be you, Haroldas, or do you have any other members of your team coming in?
No, just me.
Okay, great. If Clay and Mihao are ready, then we can begin.
I'm ready to go whenever.
Okay. All right. So, thank you for joining us. This is the first of 4 Discord AMA sessions for our Mooniversity incubation with Brokoli Network. We want to thank Haroldas and the Brokoli team for joining us. And we have some cool questions today. This session is going to be an intro to Brokoli Network and what it's all about. And we will try to get into some interesting topics about the project itself. We do have different themes for each Discord AMA. I'm sure that they'll bleed into each other a little bit, but we actually have some alpha for everybody who's here. We are going to be rewarding users who join our AMAs or listen to our Discord AMAs with rewards through a quiz that will be at the end of this incubation. So we'll give you guys a minute to get your notepads out and make sure that you take some notes on Brokoli Network, because at the very end of this, we will have a quiz. At the end of this incubation, we'll have a quiz, and we will have $10,000 in Brokoli token and MNY token for you guys. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that, and then we'll begin. Okay, so Haroldas, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and tell us a little bit about Brokoli.
Yeah, sure. So, name is Haroldas. Nice to be here, guys. And essentially, there are 2 founders plus a beautiful team of 13 people at Brokoli. the founders are me and my co-founder Matas, and it's, talking about background, it's kind of both of our backgrounds that are relevant to why we founded Brokoli. And one is, I come from a marketing background, having worked with companies like Nike, Lavazza, PayPal, Venmo, Adidas, all of that jazz. I then created a marketing agency that was working with startups, and especially startups in the green space. And Matas was always a venture capital guy providing funding to startups. So, combining his venture experience and my marketing experience, we did this thing called the Venture Accelerator, where we essentially provided both funding and marketing to startups. And then with that, we're working with sustainability-based companies, green companies in the e-commerce space, growing them and accelerating them. And eventually, once crypto started booming, we started working with crypto companies and helping them market. And one thing led to another, and we realized that really, crypto has no green solutions. And by the time we were the first ones and the only ones to try and do something of this scale that we're doing, and we figured that if we do not change something, crypto cannot be adopted globally. At the rate at which crypto is polluting the earth, governments will just simply outrule crypto. So to change that, we founded Brokoli. So that's a bit about my background.
Very cool. Very cool. So you came from the traditional space originally, and around what time did you guys decide to jump into crypto?
So crypto, we've been into crypto since like 2017, the last boom. But when we really went on head on full time was early this year. Because before early this year, there was no opportunity for us to create what we're creating, and this was kind of a solution coupled by a few circumstances, most notably, the market crash that happened as a result of sustainability issues directly later in the year. That kind of kickstarted us going into this full time.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, it's incredible how much that one tweet shook up the space, and now we see so many green projects coming out of the woodwork. But Brokoli, I believe, is leading the charge and is a first mover in the space. How do you guys feel, being representative of a greener DeFi and a greener future for DeFi and blockchain?
We're just building. We're trying to build a solution that no one can match up to. Because by now we do have some competition. If we say building one product that's somewhat green is competition, But in reality, Brokoli is as wide as it gets in its product offering. We cover everything from green DeFi to NFTs to metaverse. In DeFi, we will cover once products are out, essentially every single DeFi function. So, it's just exciting to know that we were on time to be the first ones to start building something of the scale. And it's interesting to see how the market follows, So I can only say interested to see how all of this rolls out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you'd consider yourself more of a green ecosystem as a whole, and not just we're doing one little thing. I know that you have several initiatives that are coming up. Did you want to share a little bit about any of those?
Yeah, that's exactly the right word. We're building an ecosystem because we kind of want Brokoli to be an ecosystem token, like Ethereum is for the whole of DeFi's infrastructure. We want to connect all of our products based on this token. We start with a green DEX aggregator. What that does is it makes every single trade of yours green. It makes your trades plant trees at no extra cost to you. So we're rolling out the alpha next month, and then we'll roll out the beta, mainnet eventually. Then what we're doing apart from that, what we have in collaboration with Mooney and other projects is an API integration. It's essentially an integration that makes our DeFi, GameFi, NFT projects green. And we're also building products to cover our DeFi functions like staking, lending, yield farming, all of that, all in a way that plants trees. And then all of those trees that you plant are essentially trees planted in the real world, but you also get them as NFT trees, as a digital forest in our metaverse, where your Brokoli NFT is your character that grows the digital forest as you keep using our products. And all of this is interconnected. That's the best way to put it. Brokoli is building an ecosystem, and that's what we're up to.
Come on, guys. This is incredible. You can plant your own trees. You get your own NFTs for planting trees, and you get bros. Okay? It literally checks every box. Clearly, you guys have put a lot of thought into
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
and you guys hit the nail on the head. So let's get a little bit into the products that you mentioned. So you have the DEX aggregator, and you have the API integration. I guess we'll start with the API integration. Can you just share with the audience, a little bit about how that'll work? Like, is this, applying to just layer 2s, layer 1s? How does that work?
So that essentially works with all things blockchain. Wherever there is a transaction, we can implement this to the project, be it a game, a DeFi project, an NFT marketplace, whatever it is, to the project. There is absolutely no extra cost. So it's a no-brainer for every project to integrate this, which makes it easy to spread. And essentially what it does, it gives the audience of the project to choose to plant trees with their transaction. So the cost we're looking at right now to add to a transaction, if users choose to do that, is $1.5 worth of tokens. But that's an approximate figure for now, and that's only if the user wishes to do so. It's always a choice. Essentially, what we're saying is, if you don't want to be green and you want to continue living life as you do, continue doing it. If you want to make change while doing all of your crypto stuff, here's the solution. You can opt in to participate in it at any time. You can also opt out at any time. It's all based on your free will. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't do it.
Come on, guys. $1.50 and you could change the world together. Come on, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So great. And so with the DEX aggregator, it's as simple as actually using it. There's no sort of major process. It's just a layer on top of, like, let's say a Uniswap or whatever, correct?
Yeah. So we're first building on Binance Smart Chain because of the trading volumes that are there. Like basically no one trades on Uniswap these days. Most of the trading is on BSC. So that's where we're building the Green DEX aggregator first. How that happens is, because we aggregate your trades, we find the best price possible, and that gives us space to take a fee that then plants trees, but to the user, there's no change. So you just do your trades. It's simple. It's a very good user experience, user interface. You can try it on our website. If you scroll down a bit, there's going to be a button that says try demo. You can see how it works. Very simple. Plant trees with every single token swap.
Amazing. Every single swap, you plant trees. It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, so obviously you guys just launched, and you launched with DAO Maker, correct?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that process? Because I know that getting on DAO Maker is no easy feat, and they are very selective with their processes. It's also at times quite slow with them because they really do take their time to ensure that a project is in the right position to launch. So could you tell us a little bit about that process, getting on DAO Maker, what it meant to you guys, and kind of how that process went getting you in position to launch?
Yeah, so DAO Maker was essentially one of the first believers in the project. When the fundraise started, DAO Maker was the first big player to come on board because they believed in the vision, we saw what happened to the markets when Elon tweeted that Tesla is no longer accepting Bitcoin because of sustainability issues, and they knew that this was going to be the solution of the future. That's what DAO Maker believed, and once a DAO Maker once DAO Maker believes in a project, then it's a very long process of incubating the project to actually create a narrative that suits the market, and then building up an audience that believes in the project. So the incubation for us lasted almost 5 months before we listed. So yeah, in terms of convincing DAO Maker, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was hard, only because they liked the solution. But DAO Maker puts a lot of work into the projects that they're launching, and it was a very long process to build everything up to the quality standard that is set by DAO Maker. But the result is DAO Maker's launches are the top ROI producing launches in the industry, and that's for a reason. Those guys essentially become an extension of your team that helps you deliver the best product possible to the largest audience possible.
Amazing. Five months is a very long time.
And then in regards to the process, you always need to trust the process, because I've been looking at Brokoli network inception concept almost, and I've seen you guys developed a lot the last 3-4 months actually, and the things that you added makes you really stand out from the crowd when it comes to the gamification, metaverse thing, planting trees. It was not part of the idea initially, I believe.
We started as green DeFi only, but then eventually we figured out how to do the metaverse in a way that you can also see the trees you plant in the digital world as your digital forest, and then of course the NFTs to give the community a face that they can align with, and they can start calling themselves actual members of the community.
Amazing. And 5 months is a long time. That's a pretty, what some might call tedious process to get your project launched, especially, knowing this market, things can change very quickly. Were you guys waiting for the right time to launch? Did you feel like you really needed to kind of build up a more bullish narrative towards green DeFi? Or do you feel it was already there when you guys started incubating?
I feel like the market until recently did not realize yes, the markets crashed back in May, but throughout summer, people really didn't realize the importance of these solutions. But then come autumn, the name of the game changed, and we also wanted our audience to mature, because we went from 0 to 1,000, 8,000 to 5,000, 5,000, 10,000 followers, eventually 20, 30, 40, 50,000, and we just started blowing up. And once we started blowing up, that's when we knew now is the time to launch it.
Amazing. And so, how was the launch? Do you guys feel happy with the results? Was there any hitches in the launch? As everybody here knows, every launch has its own challenges and troubles, and sometimes they're completely out of the hands of the team, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, even, us at Moonies, when we launched right in the middle of probably the biggest correction in about 5 months. So how was the So how was the launch itself for you guys? Was it relatively smooth? Did you guys have any issues? How did that go?
It was actually impressively smooth. Just as a founder listing your project for the that was a very interesting day. Not the easiest one to understand what's happening and how's everything happening, but we grossed over $17 million in volume dollars in the first 24 hours. So that showed, a lot of interest in the project. Now we've kind of consolidated on the price, and now we can start actually moving where we want to move 2 weeks after listing. So I think everything went well, and very interested, to see how things start moving once we start dropping our products, because with our products comes comes stuff like token burn, token buybacks, all of the other stuff. A very sophisticated deflationary token economy that incentivizes people to plant trees, because planting trees is nothing if you don't give people incentives, right? Tesla became cool because the first car that they did was a supercar. We want to do the same thing in crypto. You're going to plant trees and you're going to be very handsomely rewarded for doing so. So that's that's kind of what we're up to these days.
It's very smart. I mean, the thing is, the concept is fantastic, but again, the fact that you guys went a step further and made sure that people aren't only feeling good about what they're doing, but they're also being rewarded for it. That's no easy thing to do. And there are lots of projects out there that kind of lean on their fundamentals, but maybe aren't as focused on creating a rewarding ecosystem or token economy for their users, and knowing this space, you want to actually do both, which is, it's kind of fantastic that you guys are really doing that. You said that you have a team of 13 people, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about your team? How it is managing a team like that? I guess you could say it's a decent sized team. A lot of moving parts. Do you guys feel like you are, adequately staffed? Are you guys expanding? How's that all going?
So the first thing is we're always expanding because, in blockchain, the only thing preventing fast progress is a lack of talent. The faster that you can hire good quality talent, the faster you can progress. So we're always hiring for talent, especially in development, because with that we can only move faster. But in terms of how it is managing a team of the sizes, we really adopt a company culture that's not really unlike most companies. We tend to follow the Netflix model, which says no rules, meaning there are no rules in a company. Everything is led by context. So whereas traditional companies have a pyramid management scheme where the CEO is the leader and everyone listens to the CEO's command, we adopt a different approach where it's mostly similar to a tree. As the leader, I'm trying, to be the tree that then has its branches, and as a tree, I set context, and the team, every single one of them, make independent leadership decisions, deciding what's best for the company to suit the context that we're trying to build. And that context is trying to make crypto green and build the future with that. So the company basically is built on a culture of innovation, a culture of incentivizing individual leadership. So it's not that hard to manage, a group of 13 when all of those 13 people, instead of depending on your decision making, are able to make decisions for themselves.
Even their work infrastructure is a tree. I really can't believe it. These guys are incredible.
Yeah.
It's a really great way to look at it. I mean, it's a more egalitarian approach, and I'm sure that it means that the voices of every single person on your project is they feel heard, they feel respected, and I'm sure you get great productivity out of them. So even at the foundation of how you run your project, I mean, it really is great to see. I'm curious, actually. I was thinking about this while you were speaking about the team. You guys have exploded pretty quickly. Have you garnered any mainstream interest from any kind of traditional entities or anything like that? Have you been exploring that? Because I really do feel like any sort of eco project or eco company would be really interested in something that adds this type of climate positive approach to blockchain. What is your experience with that, and have you garnered any interest from those guys?
In terms of mainstream people, there are two aspects on which we aim at mainstream. One is our product is going to be designed basically for very, very mainstream people that do not get crypto and that want to get into crypto. That's the next 100 million users that crypto is going to get, right? the issue for them with crypto is it's so hard to use for something that doesn't know anything about it, that it prevents them from using it, right? So what we want to do is we want to provide the products for them that are so simple to use. If we look at Robinhood, the stock trading app, Robinhood blew up because it's understandable for the retail mainstream person. Every other trading app was very hard to understand and no one traded it. Robinhood, on the other hand, became the biggest one. That's what we're trying to do. In terms of companies and their interest, we're actually providing alternatives to carbon credits. Carbon credits, as you may know, guys, is used by companies that want to produce more damage to the earth. They have to buy those carbon credits, and it's a nasty business that doesn't really work in the traditional world, but it can be fixed by using blockchain and decentralization. So we present a decentralized model called impact credits that can replace the carbon credits, and that is essentially another way for people who use broccoli and plant trees to make money, and that is that they will be able to sell the trees that they planted, the NFT trees that they have, are a tradable asset that can be then sold to companies that want blockchain-based, decentralized impact credits.
That is amazing, amazing. And I'm sure that that's going to garner a lot of interest as time moves forward. As blockchain becomes more mainstream, and as green solutions become more mainstream, you kind of have both things nailed. So, I wouldn't be shocked if your project ends up being one of the top projects in the entire space in a very short period of time. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah. So I've been droning on for a little while. I don't know, Michal and Clay, if you have any other questions for Haroldus before we get into community questions. But if you don't, then we can get into that. Keep in mind, guys, we do have 4 of these AMAs, so we'll have a little bit of a different theme each time. This one is just an intro, so generic theme. But you guys are free to ask any questions that you'd like. So if you do have a question, put your hands up. Oh, okay, we have a chat. Okay. Clay, maybe you could field that while I pull up this on my screen. You can field the first question. Oh, by the way, shameless plug, actually, Haroldus. Do you want to just share all of your information, your socials, website, et cetera, in the chat? And you can also, say it over voice as well.
Yeah, so the website is brokkoli.network. Brokkoli goes with a K, not a double C, but brokkoli with a K .network. And then the Twitter handle is @brokkoli network. Again, broccoli is with a K. That's how you can find us, or you can search us up into CoinMarketCap. Just type in BRKL, and that page has all of the info about us, links to our Discord, our Telegram chat, our socials, all of that.
Amazing. So we expect to see 52 new followers, assuming that some of these guys actually didn't follow you. I'm pretty sure that everybody in here has already followed you guys. But for all of those people that are listening to the recording, go give them a follow, go check them out. They have incredible content. They're putting out some great marketing, really cool graphics. They even have their own little broccoli, dancing little broccolis. So go check those out. Okay, so our first community question, Clay.
So we have a question from Evelyn Swart asking, as climate change and other environmental issues take center stage, responsible companies are taking initiative to reduce their carbon footprints. Great that you're collaborating with Brokoli Network, but how do we know it's not for show? What positive impact does it have on the environment, and what actionable steps are going to be taken? So maybe you can tell us about what actionable steps Brokoli has actually been taking in order to achieve the climate positive future.
Yeah, that's actually a great question, and that's the concern of most people throughout history with anything climate positivity related is how do we prove it? With blockchain, however, the conversation changes. With blockchain, you can see all of the impact that is being made on chain, and we're going to have a real-time climate impact dashboard where you can see as a Moonies user that look, Moonies has made this much impact, aka planted this many trees by this many users. It has absorbed this many CO2 from the atmosphere, and all of that will be backed up by pages that show the progress of the tree planting projects worldwide. Now, the thing is, the community, the token holders, are the ones that will be planting all of the trees unless the trees come from a project like Moonies. When the trees come from a project like Moonies, it is Moonies who actually decide where the trees are being planted. So every single month, once the product launches, you guys are going to be able to decide where do we actually plant the trees. And once you do that, then we're going to have satellite images, real time as well, showing is there actually something happening on site in the location chosen for planting trees. So, verifiability, provability of the impact created stretches everywhere from showing on the blockchain in the real-time impact dashboard and then even in the real world through satellite imagery.
Satellites, guys. Are you hearing this? Please, everybody, are you hearing this? So seriously, this is, the more questions that are asked, the more baffled I am by just how well thought this solution is. And, from, speaking on behalf of Moonies, our project's goal is to really kind of emphasize and showcase projects that are, progressing the blockchain space and also progressing, the state of our world, right? And, being green is, it's not a new topic. It's not something that, hasn't been spoken about and kind of, held important to all of us for a while. But, when it comes to actually doing it to one of the most explosive technologies that we've seen since, the .com boom, the internet boom. I mean, this is amazing. So we're committed to, educating you guys and showcasing just how special a project like Brokoli really is. And so, thank you again for joining us, Haroldus. It's amazing to be a part of this and to be a partner of the Brokoli Network.
Thank you for being here, guys, and speak to you next time.
Wait, no, we're not done yet. I think we have more questions.
We're not done yet.
Sorry, I just got a little sappy, that's all.
The question is, do you know how many Brokoli will be available, and could you explain how it's calculated the tree planting milestone associated with the Brokoli rocket? Does it change depending on external indicators?
Okay, so we plan 1,000 Brokis, and when it comes to the targets, they are not set yet because the platforms are just starting, and we think about some psychological points to quantify the milestones of the rockets. So we are not sure what will this be, but it will be definitely something that is achievable in a foreseeable future, and we'll have one moon target for trees planted actually. So that would be it covering the question. And I just wanted to say something in regards to everybody thinking that AMA is ending. I think that Harold plans on, so this is why he was in such a hurry.
Yeah, he's going to plant some trees. That's why he's ready to go already.
Always planting the trees.
Yeah. So I mean, we need to work with the Brokoli team and make sure that the milestone is reasonable. It's achievable. Which, I mean, I'm sure that so many trees will be planted that we'll have to set, a milestone that will, last a little bit so that, we can continue to have our Brokoli NFT holders take seats in the rocket and hopefully be full by the time that milestone is hit. But that is a mechanism that we are still working on. We hopefully will be able to set a target by the end of this incubation, which will be about a month long. But we're not entirely sure yet. But rest assured, it is coming. So make sure that you open your moon chests and get your Brokoli NFTs, which will let you know when those are dropping. And you guys will be able to take a seat in that rocket. And for any of those who don't know about what the actual prize is for when we hit that milestone, it will be a expenses paid trip to actually plant trees in person with some members of the Brokoli team and some members of the MoonieNFT team. So it's very exciting. We're bridging the gap between off-chain and on-chain. Lucas is pointing at me. Apparently, it's going to be me who's planting trees. It'll be my pleasure. But yeah, we are also committed to bridging the gap between on-chain and off-chain, and that means bringing you guys out to have some really cool real life and lifelong experiences like this. So I hope that answers your question decent enough.
So we have another question from NFT Alipe asking who will be planting.
Do we have any more questions, Clay?
Yeah. From NFT Alipe asking who will be planting these trees. So maybe you can give us a breakdown.
Did we lose me? Hello?
Hello?
No, we're still here. I believe I hear you, Clay. You hear me too, probably. Maybe.
Oh man.
Maybe Uncle Crablegs is lagging. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you can
trees,
give us a breakdown of blockchain 2 real world and how who will actually be doing the tree planting.
Yeah, so the tree planting is done by projects, not charities, because charities have insane overheads. We want 100% of the funds to be used hands-on on the ground. So who we fund are projects that are working hands-on, directly on the ground, planting trees. That is all around the world. And now, based on the location, that's going to have an impact on the price per tree. The most cheap trees are in Latin America and Africa. So if we want to plant the most trees, that's where we do it. If we want to plant trees not for price but for impact, we can also plant it in other areas. But all of that is decided not by us, but by the people that are either token holders, if it comes through the products, the native products of Brokoli, or by the projects that integrate. So for example, MoonieNFT, the MoonieNFT community and team, you guys will be deciding which country do you want to plant the trees in based on the database of partners we have. So those partners are tree planting projects. And answering the question in the shortest way possible, it's as of today, I think we have around 40 tree planting partners that you can choose from. We're going to be expanding the list as we go, and they are going to be planting the trees by receiving the funding from us, and they have to have certifications proving that they actually plant the trees. They are very closely surveilled to see that they actually make the impact, and that's how it goes.
Great. That's so you can see there's a lot of options for location as far as the tree planting goes, which is very nice to know. So we have a question from Master LH asking how is climate positivity to be achieved. So maybe you can tell us about. We know you have the tree planting now, but maybe do you have any hints for any future developments in the Brokoli network, because your overarching goal, contributing to your overarching goal of climate positivity?
Yeah, so to be climate positive, for blockchain to be climate positive, we need to offset the negative impact that it has. Most of the impact comes from pollution. So with that, we offset the carbon emitted, that's trees. But blockchain also has a negative impact on two other key areas, and that's it produces electronic waste because of mining, and it consumes a lot of energy that could be renewable energy. So that's going to be the decision of, do we start by funding tree planting only? Eventually, the DAO will decide, do we also start funding e-waste recycling and producing renewable energy? So, that's what we have in mind for the future, to actually correct all of the three negative areas of impact. Tree planting being the most significant one, and for the others, we'll see what the DAO decides.
Amazing. And I'd like to note that Brokoli is actually the project that made me consider eating broccoli for dinner again. So thank you to Haroldus. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think we will wrap it up here. We want to keep these AMAs a little bit shorter because we will be doing 3 more of them. You can actually check out the MoonieNFT and Brokoli socials to get more up to date on what our future themes are for the AMAs. We'll also be doing one text AMA that will be solely for community questions. So go check out Brokoli's website, check out the light paper, white paper, get prepared, because we will be giving out prizes to questions that are specific to things that you would only find on the website. And we want to actually give a big thank you to Haroldus for joining us. This is a new incubation for us. This is, a completely new program for us. So, thanks for working with us, helping us improve. And we're very excited to, keep this going for the next month or so and see what kind of fun things we can do and announce for this incubation. So thank you, Haroldus, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Excited. Speak soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.